Hello! Welcome back to another Death Battle video. I've only just recently started recording my reactions to Death Battles because unfortunately I can't backtrack and watch the previous ones because I've, seen all of them already. I've been a big Death Battle fan since I was frankly probably too young to be watching something of this nature, but I was always kind of a fan of fictional characters and nerdy stuff. So, I was that kid that would watch Death Battle and be like, well, I like Spider-Man, so I want Spider-Man to be Batman, And now I grew up actually enjoying all the other little aspects and parts of Death Battle. And this Death Battle, for instance, Kratos versus Asura, I actually don't know much about either of the characters. This is going to be the first Death Battle reaction I do where I don't at least know one of the characters well. So, for instance, some people might think that might limit my capability to make commentary. Au contraire, I think that I am going to have so much more to say because I don't already know everything. I don't know anything. Well, I do know about Kratos. I know his like skin is ashy gray because it was like stained by the ashes of his family's burned bodies or something like that because they died. I don't know how. I just know he really does not like the gods. They're gonna do a whole rundown in the video, but I like to blab. Asura, on the other hand, I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him at all. I've never really familiarized myself with Asura's Wrath. I don't even know if it's like a game or if it's an anime or if it's I don't know. Let's switch over to the boop. Perfect. I forgot that my music, my jazzy music, just vanishes when I switch over to my YouTube viewing mode, which makes sense. You don't want to have a bunch of noise filter over your stuff. Without further ado, let's just get this train rolling. Coming up. You know this fight's gonna be amazing.
Kratos versus Asura.
The Ghost of Sparta versus the Wrathful Destructor. Cause sometimes you just wanna punch a god in the face. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
So they said sometimes you want to punch a god in the face, and I wonder. So I don't know anything about Asura, of course. I know Kratos beats the ever living, just everything out of gods. Greek specifically. Isn't the newer one about him going after like Norse gods, actually? I guess he just jumps pantheons, does whatever he wants. But anyway, does Asura also fight gods then? Because that is something that seems like it's going to be difficult to calculate. These guys are probably going to be absolutely insane in level of power.
In the beginning, the Primordials waged war across existence. A series of
Oh, I missed the black box! All official material related to a character is applied to analysis unless found contradictory to primary source material. Certain alternate media, B is for boy, and creator statements are only applicable as far as they are supported by the primary source. They always put that black box at the beginning of every episode, I think. I always stop to read that one and then forget to pause for every other black box in the video. I feel... Sorry, scatterbrain.
The Primordials waged war across existence. A series of cosmic clashes that birthed the universe.
Boom! Now that's what I call a big bang!
From Ceto's death, the oceans would flow. From Uranus's strikes, the stars were spawned, and so forth.
So the primordials are these powerful ancient beings that well, of course they're primordials. They're primordial beings. They've been around for ages, forever. So they fought and caused the Big Bang to happen. So that's the lore in this world. Okay.
Thus, the world itself was born from violence.
Starting the whole messy cycle, Uranus was overthrown by his Titan son, Kronos, who was overthrown by his Olympian son, Zeus, who battled his own son, Kratos.
Okay. Kratos is Zeus's son? Let's see, he's part god, part mortal, so I guess that makes sense. He's over 1,000 years old. He's 7'8". That's a tall man right there. He's been known as the Ghost of Sparta, the God of War, and the Marked Warrior. Okay. He likes Atreus, Olives, Mimir, and his family. He dislikes selfish gods, sliding puzzles, and Sackboy. Is that a reference to, like, PlayStation All-Stars? I've never really played that, but I feel like that's the only place they would have crossed over. Is in the PlayStation fighting game.
As a classic bastard child of Zeus, Kratos was left among Spartan mortals, far exceeding all among him. He became a fierce warrior, winning many a battle, until finally cornered by ruthless barbarians.
Ares, destroy these guys who are kicking my ass, and my life is yours. A deal was made, and Kratos was joined at the bone with the Blades of Chaos, a set of chain swords, and basically a badass whirlwind of
joined at the
steel.
bone?
But Ares had a scheme.
Hang on. Kratos, so is he stuck with those blades? Like, are they just stuck in his arms forever?
While doing work for his god, Kratos accidentally murdered his own family, permanently marked by the ashes of his wife and daughter. He was, forevermore, the Ghost of Sparta.
Man, if he could go back in time, he probably would be like, you know what, maybe I'll just lose this battle. I think I'd rather die than let my family go through that. I can understand your pain now a bit, Kratos.
So, he was kinda understandably really pissed off.
I would
for
be
a
too.
New god of war. The gods were crapping their togas in fear as the new god of war took out his rage on all of them. And got some new gear out of it too.
With Poseidon's trident.
Oh god, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, hang on. He has a bunch of weapons. He has Greek and Norse weapons as well, so I was correct about that earlier. He's got the Arms of Sparta, a Barbarian Hammer, Blade of Artemis, Blades of Chaos, those were the things from Ares apparently. Blade of Olympus, Eyes of Atlantis, Gauntlet of Zeus, I imagine that would let him shoot lightning to some extent. I don't know what a lot of these would do necessarily. Golden Fleece, Head of Uriel, Head of Medusa, that sounds pretty good, being able to just turn stuff to stone. Icarus Wings, so he can fly. Poseidon's Trident, does that mean he can control the ocean? How powerful is that? Scourge of Erinyes, Spear of Destiny, Sun Shield, Typhon's Bane, and more. Typhon's Bane, isn't that an item in Smite too? I mean, they're both related to gods, so I guess I'm not too surprised. Norse, he's got a Leviathan Axe, a Draupnir Spear, Relics, Sword Hilts, Talismans, and more. So that one's not quite as in-depth. He's got a Dauntless Shield, Guardian Shield, an Onslaught Shield, oh my gosh, an Onslaught Shield, a Shatterstar Shield, and a Stonewall Shield. That's a lot of shields. And he has even 3 different types of rage, apparently. Valor, Wrath, and Spartan Rage.
In Icarus's wings, Kratos dominated both sea and sky. He also has a tendency to carry powerful severed heads, like Medusa's.
Oh.
And the claws of Hades could steal souls, even the soul of Hades himself. Should have thought that one through, man.
Oh, that's actually really powerful, huh? If it's able to take Hades' own soul. I didn't even know a god would technically have a soul. I thought just as a higher being, they would be, you know, immortal.
Perseus or Hercules were a match for Kratos, nor was Helios, the sun god capable of moving stars and spreading light across the entire underworld.
He fought Atlas, the Titan of Strength, who broke the load-bearing pillar of the universe. So Kratos forced him to hold up the cosmos on his own instead.
And he could do it with just one hand, according to the novelization.
Wow, okay. Wait, so in this lore, Atlas wasn't always holding the universe? He broke a pillar while fighting against Kratos and then was forced to hold up the universe? So he technically lost that fight, too. So Kratos can hold his own against the being that holds the universe. Okay.
Even his grandpappy Kronos failed to stop him. You know, the guy who overthrew the primordial that punched the universe into existence?
Causing shockwaves that moved over a quadrillion times faster than light. A frankly incomprehensible feat.
Then there's Daddy Zeus,
who proved a serious challenge, until Kratos drew perhaps his ultimate weapon, the Blade of Olympus.
It can make tornadoes, lightning, force fields. Oh, and it can stab the hell out of you. It siphons godly energy and could pull enough to even kill Zeus. Like father, like son.
Even while Kratos ultimately released hope across the Greek world, he could...
That does make me wonder, since I don't know anything about Asura, does he qualify as having godly energy at all? Because that would be really good if... Like, if this is a fight between two godlike characters, if this blade can drain those godly auras, that could be a title changer. Okay, why did I say title changer like that was a phrase? I'm not used to, okay, well, it's fine. It's fine. Kratos regained the Blade of Olympus in God of War Valhalla and was able to summon it afterward. It was described as a memory of your past made manifest. Okay, so he can just summon this thing, too.
Only do so after annihilating everything.
Like a badass, he was unstoppable, non-stop killing and sex and even more killing. And yet, he couldn't be any more depressed.
His wife and daughter were still gone. What was he to do?
He didn't know. He wandered aimlessly for years, somehow stumbling into Norse mythology where he met Faye, his second wife. Good start, buddy.
Kratos had a...
Oh, he moved on. I'm kind of happy for him. He managed to find another wife.
New lease on life, but he could not escape his past mistakes.
There's a reason he hid his swords in a dingy basement. Even so, Faye insisted he could do better. So he became a dad to a new boy.
Easily the toughest task he ever undertook. Especially after Faye unfortunately died of a mysterious illness.
Damn it, not again! But hey, it wasn't Kratos' fault this time.
Yeah.
Faye left the tools he'd need to keep the boy safe, including the Leviathan Axe.
Far from the whirling rage of the Blades of Chaos, the Leviathan Axe was deliberate and mighty.
The Chaos Blades are powered by rage, and they're a lot more unpredictable, it seems, while the axe is a lot easier to direct and control, but maybe it's not as powerful. At least that's what I would assume is the trade-off.
Said to rival Mjolnir itself.
Oh, well, that's still pretty damn powerful, huh?
This Mjolnir was as cool as this axe. It's imbued with ice magic and a poison even the gods fear. It can be summoned to Kratos' hand from a distance, and it even shatters souls.
Kratos may have once been a sword of vengeance, but with his new weapons and a new purpose, he stood as a shield against the godly Asir.
Too bad he just can't help but get in trouble with gods. But now he knew how to control his anger.
Which is even more important than it sounds. Kratos' Spartan rage summons an inner strength with magical properties.
He can even get so pissed off that he straight up heals himself.
Okay, so his rage is like an actual magical ability, and not just like this insane determination to drive through pain. It's like actually insane.
Seems like the opposite of what should happen.
Not all anger is problematic, and Kratos wields plenty of new weapons and relics to channel his rage through.
Like the Dropnir Ring, which can summon a bunch of wind spears. They can absorb all types of energy and blast it back. He even has relics and magic that can warp space and slow down time.
Naturally, he contested with the strongest of the Norse gods, including the god of thunder, Thor. who was powerful enough to fight the fire giant Surtur and the world serpent Jormungandr at the same time.
At the same time? Do you know how big those creatures are? They're huge. I mean, I can't tell how big they are in the lore of specifically God of War, but like, Jormungandr the world serpent is big enough to generally entangle the world, so I'd imagine they'd at least keep that length accurate, right?
Oh, and that fire giant would be the cause of actual Ragnarok. You can't defeat me, Thor. I know, but he can.
Well, not exactly. Freyr, the rain god, held off Ragnarok for a considerable time on his own, and the sheer power of Ragnarok shook Yggdrasil down to its very roots.
That's the World Tree, which is like a literal tree that connects the whole universe.
According to Freya, the tree's very existence supports all of creation among its boughs. Every strand, transcending time, transcending space, everything comes back to the tree.
So it's kind of like Kratos lives in a really, really, really big treehouse.
In his quest to...
That's interesting. He killed most of the Greek pantheon. I wonder who he spared, who didn't get killed by him. Wait, so he died and then just climbed out of the underworld? Okay, so Asura's probably gonna have to destroy this man's soul if he intends to win. He forced Atlas to hold up the universe forever. We covered that one. Killed Kronos and overthrew the creator of the Greek universe. Released hope into the Greek and Norse realms. I don't know what... Okay, but what does that mean? What is hope? Is it like actual... In this world, is hope like an actual thing? Like a harnessable energy of some kind? Because you never know with these fictional worlds. He survived being thrown across the planet, reconciled his past to become a better god. Fair enough. Defeated Atlas, Hercules, Zeus, Thor, and Odin, generally seen as some of the most powerful gods in both of these pantheons. And he fought Shovel Knight to a standstill. And if you remember, Shovel Knight lost in a death battle to Scrooge McDuck. So, Kratos would lose in a fight against Scrooge McDuck because he is on par with Shovel Knight. The more you know.
Free the Norse world, Kratos reclaimed old weapons by reckoning with his past sins, even taking up the Blade of Olympus once again.
Even better, he actually got to be a decent dad. And now the boy is a man and also a bear.
Kratos made a lifetime of
The boy
mistakes,
became a bear?
But his future would be different. He'd be more than he was in the past. Not just a god of war, but a leader, a father, and a defender. A god of hope.
I don't know.
This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood Gold.
Okay. I'm probably going to cut the ad out of the final video, but I did watch through the whole thing for the sake of, for the sake of their monetary gain, Gotta keep Death Battle around.
Long ago, a demigod fell from the heavens, only to rise from the depths of Naraka after 12,000 years.
After 12,000 years, he's free!
So he fell from the sky. Do we even know where he came from? Does his lore just begin with him falling from the sky? And then he took a big nap, I guess, for a few thousand years, and then rose to the surface. Alright, Asura.
To punch everything dumb enough to get in his way! He was the demigod of wrath!
I guess that nap was not enough to calm him down.
Asura!
You could say he woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or the wrong side of the crater, I suppose.
Alongside 7 other demigod generals, Asura served as defender of humanity against the impure Goma, dark spirit monsters infesting the world.
And the demigods battled the Goma by wielding a mystic energy formed from human prayer, mantra.
By advancing technology with mantra, the
Okay, so mantra is like an actual energy you can get from prayer. That's an interesting concept when you've got a world with canon gods and deities.
Guardian Generals became essentially hyper-powerful mystic cyborgs. They could each harness mantra through a different emotional affinity. For August, it was greed. For Yasha, it was melancholy.
I'll give you one chance to guess what Asura's is.
By tapping into his
Asura.
wrath, Asura can
I misheard. I've just been saying his name wrong. Asura.
take many forms for battle, like the six-armed Vajra, a state powerful enough to subdue the embodiment of the planet's will and the source of the Goma, Vlitra.
Wait, the embodiment of the planet's will? I bet this guy could beat up a Green Lantern, huh?
And he wasn't angry enough to put Goma Vlitra down for good. At least not yet. Of course, since he's literally powered by wrath, no enemy of Asura's would be stupid enough to do something that would make him even more mad, right?
If he's powered by wrath, I'm surprised no one was thinking maybe he would be an interesting fight against the Hulk. But like, you know, amped up to 11, like Worldbreaker Hulk. But maybe Asura's just really, really above the Hulk's range, you know? But he makes me think of him, so it was just a thought I had.
Right?
Funny you should say that.
God damn it.
First off, Asura is not some one-dimensional anger machine. In myth, the Asuras were powerful and aggressive beings, sure, but not inherently evil, just like Asura himself. He's a warrior, but also a husband with a daughter, Mithra,
And Mithra has the unique power to supercharge mantra energy.
which gave Asura's prideful commander, Deus, an idea. If he could weaponize Mithra, literally wiring her up to a super weapon, the Guardian Generals could maybe finally end Goma Vlitra for good.
That's not a good idea. You're gonna make him upset.
Well, obviously, Asura wasn't gonna go along with that. So Deus framed Asura for killing the Emperor, murdered his wife, kidnapped Mithra, and then just straight
Oh.
up killed him. What a dick.
But true to his nature, Asura was literally too angry to die. So long as a single part of his body remains and can possess mantra, he can climb back out of Naraka, a sort of limbo underworld between life and death. Thanks to some coaxing from a strange golden spider, he did just that.
Okay, so him and Kratos can literally just climb out of their respective underworlds. Are they both gonna die in this death battle and then just climb back up? Because that would be kind of funny.
With an all-new purpose in mind.
Make the gods pay! Oh yeah, they're calling themselves gods now. Turns out they're all assholes who started sacrificing thousands of innocent people to try to power up. So Asura got really, really, really pissed off.
And through his rage, Asura's power exploded, rising enough to throw giants like ragdolls, shatter whole moons, and destroy a fellow deity, Wyzen.
Who could dwarf the planet and wreck it with just a finger. Look at this!
Is this the scene that is this that scene that okay, I can't put it into words, whatever. I'm gonna hit play.
Asura is so powerful, his soul cannot be manipulated by the Goma or the deities. He can propel himself with mantra to fly, harden his fists to break steel, fire explosive energy blasts.
And headbutt you so hard you wish you could die even faster. The dude literally stockpiles anger into a burst of energy that can one-shot even the toughest.
He has enhanced strength, speed, durability, and stamina when he gets angry. Rapid fire, homing heart, charged projectiles, energy spirals, waves, explosions, mantra arm, propelled flight, mantra of wrath. So there's 8 mantra affinities. Is that just referring to his rage? His wrath, I mean. It increases his strength as he gets angrier. Manifests fire, good to know. Resurrection, also very good to know with the death battle. Enables transformations. That's pretty cool.
The foes, and when he goes unlimited mode, he can rapid fire those super attacks without overheating.
Asura's vengeance quest wasn't all shouting and explosions, though. I mean, it was a lot of that, but he also tried to protect people from the gods, including a girl who very much reminded him of his own daughter.
Yeah, Asura's the kind of guy who wants to be a great dad, but all he knows how to do is punch anything that upsets his kid, like that one dad that knocks out a ref at a Little League game.
I mean, you know what? He's trying his best. He's doing his best. Man, it's a shame to see both of these two have to fight. Because, like, they're both just fathers in pain, right? At the end of the day.
And then the gods killed that girl too, along with her whole village, sparking Asura to unleash his berserker aura.
You know how the gods were sacrificing thousands of people to power up? Well, Asura got so freaking angry, he built up enough mantra to match them, even though they've been building up energy for thousands of years. Seriously, guys, you're pissing off the guy who literally gets more powerful the angrier he gets. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yet
Yeah, that's a
even
bad
in berserker
idea.
mode, Asura never lost total control.
Berserker Asura adds even more extra arms, and they're big and glowy now. The man can launch so much angry mantra, he wiped out the god's whole space fleet in seconds.
Asura's anger raised to levels so high even he couldn't contain it, scorching him into his wrath form.
Even
Okay, he's got the Berserker form with 4 mantra arms, bolts and beams, 6 armed, 6 metallized arms. Okay, he has Wrath, supercharged metallized arms. Okay, when he goes Destructor mode, he just becomes planet-sized and has interstellar flight. Okay, wow.
though it hurts Asura while he's in it, this form is still perfect for absolutely shit-stomping a snobby demigod's face in. It's okay though, his brother-in-law punched the edge out of him.
Yasha saw the error of the deity's senseless sacrifices and teamed up with Asura for a coup against Deus.
Awesome, they're bros again! Just in time for Asura to hit his former boss with so much mantra that he burst, then dive into the planet's core to obtain power equal to 1,000 arms. His mantra form,
1,000?
finally, a power capable of killing Vlitra in a big planet-busting blast.
Deus was defeated and Gaia was saved. Yet, Asura's wrath hadn't been quelled.
Title drop!
It turns out that spider that guided him was actually Chakravartin, the creator of mantra and the entire universe.
Oh. Is he about to beat him up?
And everyone's suffering was part of his plan to make Asura his heir. Chakra kidnapped Mithra, because of course he did, and tested Asura in the form of a massive golden Buddha statue. Check out the size of it! That thing can literally hold a galaxy in its palm. Naturally, Asura and the statue threw hands.
Enter the mantra reactor. Capable of holding 7 trillion souls, Asura
That's a
instead
lot
used
of
it as a
souls.
vessel for a far greater power.
His own unfiltered rage. At last, Asura could show the world his real colors.
Everyone from the humans to the 7 deities to Chakravartin saw Asura's anger as a weapon, a sword for tyranny, when that was never who he was. His rage was really a shield to protect humanity, and most of all, his daughter.
That's poetic, you know? It makes sense, though. It's a nice little flip on the head, because a lot of people would see wrath and be like, well, all you're good for is punching, being angry.
A shield larger than a planet! Unbound by his past limits, Asura's ultimate destructor form effortlessly punched
there it
through
is.
asteroids larger than nebulas, dodged planet-sized lasers moving 2 quadrillion times faster than light, and obliterated whole stars!
Chakravartin was, understandably, impressed and offered Asura a chance to take his place. Asura smiled at the offer and extended his arm.
Right into Chakra's face, as if he was gonna let some god trample over more worlds. Instead, he literally beat the QTEs out of God, obliterating him and his plans in a cosmic explosion.
But with Chakravartin dead,
Damn.
so was the concept of mantra itself. Those who depended on it could not survive, including Asura.
Hey, as long as Mithra was fine, it was worth it. Besides, he'll reincarnate millions of years later, still kicking ass, ready to smack a random thug, a meteor, or Ryu, right in the balls.
It's interesting. Despite the dangers of uncontrolled anger, Asura's wrath gave him the power to save everything, all because of just one thing.
Some bastard made his daughter cry, so they had to pay. Now that's a god I can get behind.
At least in the end, he saved his daughter, you know?
This battle is sponsored by Prize Picks, the best place to get real money.
Oh, okay. So, This is a hard choice. This is a really hard choice. I genuinely don't know. I'm not sure who could win. It's like they're both so crazy, over the top powerful that it's hard to draw comparisons, right? Like Kratos didn't have any numbers behind him. Asura had a very higher than light speed feat there. I mean, I suppose technically Kratos can manipulate time a little bit as well, but it's a difficult choice. Okay. We have to decide. We have to decide who we think is gonna win. Okay, so Asura seems more powerful to me at when you look at it from a gameplay perspective. But also his gods were not entirely gods, right? They were like, excuse me. They were like just cyborgs powered by mantra, but like, so they were super powerful, but were they on par with a god? I don't know. But he did destroy the creator of the universe, and Kratos also destroyed the creator of the universe. So in the end, this might come down to versatility, and I think Kratos has more versatility, even though, and he has the ability to destroy a soul. I don't know if Asura really had that ability, and both of them can climb from the underworld of their respective worlds, right? So I might go with Kratos on this one. I'm gonna guess Kratos. Let's see. I think Kratos. Hopefully.
All right, the combatants are set, and
Why-
we run the data
why was he
through all
dancing like that?
possibilities.
It's time for a dead battle!
This is gonna be peak either way. It's gonna start so low to earth, and then it's just gonna escalate, isn't it? Is there gonna be a story behind their fight? Oh. So he just got teleported
It's
in
true,
there?
then. The god of war is on Gaia, but not for long. You do not want this fight.
Oh. Did he think Kratos was going after his daughter? Because he was just teleported there, man. That looked a little painful. Oh, is that Kratos raging now too? Oh, they broke the Parthenon. Ow. Okay, we got six-armed He just smacked you with a rock. Oh my gosh, you're instant transmissioning. Yeah.
You let your wrath consume you. I have been down that road before. Shut up! Very well.
I really don't know who's gonna win. I just did my best to guess. There's an aspect where you don't really want one of them to kill the other. Oh, shit. Why'd you just throw at him? Oh. Is he about to go planetary? Oh. Jeez. I don't know if ice is gonna do much against that, buddy. No, he's not even planetary mode yet, is he, actually?
This is not my end!
Oh. Is this a Speak of the Devil moment? Yeah, that was a Speak of the Devil moment. Now he's planetary. Size is what I mean. Oh, God. Literally, because they're gods at this point. You can call Asura a demigod, but this is godlike behavior in my book. Okay, actually, can we talk about that Kratos model? It's detailed. Whoa.
Death has not heard me yet, Titan!
That's a pretty raw line, I'm not gonna lie.
But you deserve a worthy end!
Well, is he gonna launch himself all the way up there? Whoa. Look at this animation. It's honestly, for a 3D animated death battle, this is a really high level, high quality.
Are a monster no longer. I never was.
Damn. Damn. I mean, my guess was right, but man, that hits you in the feels a little bit. I liked it. It was good. It was a great fight. It was a great death battle. Wow. Excuse me. I was right though. The scale of the fight started with like hand-to-hand combat, and then it just escalated more and more and more. There was a lot going on screen, and it was a little hard for me to visually track, but also you could probably just blame my ADHD on that one. And these guys have just really massive, like huge sized abilities that they're throwing out left and right. It's wild, really. It was great. It was great. Let's listen to the wrap up. Figure out why Kratos won, because I might have guessed Kratos won, but my only guess was his versatility with his weapons, because as far as I could tell, they both had this crazy level of universal scaling powers that I could not track past a certain point with my limited mortal brain.
Well, I guess Asura's wrath really is gone. But are we sure this is how it'd go, even though Asura can blow up stars?
Asura had some amazing displays of apocalyptic destruction, but the full scope of their speed, experience, versatility, and power sheds a surprising light.
At first glance, speed seems like a shoo-in for Asura. Kratos is quick, but he never dodged a universe-crossing laser.
That doesn't mean he couldn't.
I didn't know that for sure, because I might just have a terrible memory, but they didn't give us a number for that one. But they gave us a number for Asura's, you know what I mean?
Remember, as usual, we look at these characters at their peak, free from gameplay restrictions.
Yeah, we're looking at everything in canon, and Kratos fought and killed Helios, the sun god.
From the moment
they
he's
did tell us
introduced,
about that.
Helios is emphasized to be immensely powerful. Without Helios, darkness would shroud everything. His light was fast enough to illuminate the entire underworld while Kratos sailed through it, taking a few hours at most.
So, kinda hard to quantify, but that's consistent with the shockwaves the primordials caused that spawned the universe.
Arguments could be made for which is faster, the primordial shockwaves or Chakravartin's intergalactic lasers. Since it's so close, it's safest to assume their speeds are
Equal?
generally even.
Equal
But
speed.
what does speed matter if you don't know how to use it? Let's cover experience. Asura lived across centuries, obviously a lot longer than Kratos.
And while Kratos eventually learned to control his rage, Asura pretty much always had that control.
So Asura easily takes experience.
Okay.
But when it comes to versatility, he couldn't
Yeah,
match all the
yeah,
weapons
versatility.
and abilities Kratos had.
Sure, Asura's quite skilled and a monster at martial arts, but his fighting style mostly relies on one thing.
His fists, a bunch of hands, just a ton of arms coming out of him, hitting you with like 5,000, a million arms at one time. Yeah, that was generally the vibe that made me think Kratos was gonna take it, was the versatility. Like I said before, I keep reiterating this for some reason. But, yeah. Asura pretty much just fought with his hands. He just went to town on those.
Whole lot of punching.
Kratos' weapons, magic, runes, relics, and even his rage gave him far more options in combat, slowing down time, healing injuries, and most importantly, multiple weapons that could drain a variety of energies.
That's what I was thinking.
Mantra.
Yeah, when Asura loses all his mantra energy, that's it for him.
I didn't know if mantra would equate to godlike energy, but, you know, those literally mean the same exact thing, don't they?
So the Dropnir spears and the Blade of Olympus gave Kratos exactly what he needed. Versatility, and multiple ways to finish this for good before Asura just comes crawling back out of the underworld.
If
Now-
he could, Asura's resurrections take years or whole centuries, days at best.
But all this assumes Kratos could match Asura's crazy strength. All roads lead to power, which should go to Asura, right? Look at what...
I wasn't sure for power, but, like, power was so hard to figure out in this one, because they both did ridiculous things that I couldn't assign a number to. Asura destroyed the creator of the universe, but so did, essentially, through power scaling, so did Kratos, right? They said he was able to best Kronos, and Kronos was one of the, primordial? No, Kronos' grandfather? Father? I can't remember. God family trees are a bit wacky. But, even still, he was able to defeat Atlas, who was holding up the universe, right? So I feel like they were both similar in power as far as I could tell, but I'm curious to see what they have to say about it.
he can do. If this came down to who made the bigger kaboom, he'd kick Kratos' ass in 2 seconds.
But a closer examination of their feats reveals the truth.
At his peak, Asura overpowered Chakravartin, annihilating that cosmic golden god.
By measuring the dimensions of Chakravartin's body and scaling it up to match the size of this galaxy-eclipsing statue, we can determine its volume. Add in the density of gold, for good measure assuming the form is solid throughout, and its mass far exceeds not just our galaxy, but our entire observable universe.
Destroying that big golden god would need energy on par with obliterating our universe 91,000 times.
Extremely impressive and unfathomable. However, the same idea applies
Unfathomable indeed. What?
to Ragnarok shaking the roots of Yggdrasil.
Ragnarok is obviously a bit of a
You're right.
different beast than Kratos, but what really matters is what Freyr did.
Right, Freyr, a god comparable to Kratos, held back Ragnarok's power for a significant time.
So Kratos should be capable of the same level of power, or even more.
Using an official map and knowing the world tree's branches encompass all of existence, we can measure its size and volume.
And we know this map is accurate because it shows these two realms conjoined, which we see in game.
Even if we assume the Tree of the Realms is only 1% solid, a significant
What?
lowball that Kratos should easily scale above, shaking such an incomprehensibly large structure would require enough force to destroy our universe's mass energy 9 million times over.
Okay, fair enough. I will accept that. That's a big boy number right there. Yeah. Yeah. Throughout the game, Kratos directly interacts with the tree and collects dew from its branches. In Norse myth, Yggdrasil is generally considered an ash tree. However, God of War, Cookbook of the Nine Realms, describes it as a yew tree, which is slightly less dense than ash.
That's almost 100 times greater than Chakravartin's destruction. And this isn't some one-off outlier. I mean, a realm-shattering supergiant doesn't sound too different from the other Titans and Olympians Kratos defeated.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's easy to think that we never see Kratos do anything that matches Asura, but we do. Helios' speed matches Chakravartin, and Kratos outsped him. Atlas is strong enough to lift all of reality, and Kratos overpowered him. Kronos defeated the creator of the universe in a one-on-one fight,
Yeah.
same as Asura, and Kratos killed Kronos. Add in the clear numerical comparison of Chakravartin, Ragnarok, and Yggdrasil, and Kratos takes the edge in power.
But hey, Capcom,
That
if
did
you give
feel
us
really
Asura's
close,
Wrath
though.
too, we'll try this again.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Asuras, the sun rises. The god of wrath was Kratos.
As soon as the sun rises, Boomstick, that was a bit of a stretch, don't you think?
The winner is Kratos.
All right,
But
hit.
what if?
What if what? An alternate ending? What is this? Are they gonna start animating alternate endings for death battles with the other person winning just cause, like, it's nice? It's curiosity thing to see how they would handle it.
And that concludes my pitch for Asura's Wrath 2. The end.
Okay, so that's how it's gonna be, death battle. You're just gonna hit me in the feels twice. You're gonna give me both potential outcomes and just make me feel just the feels in both ways. You made me watch both of them die. When earlier I said, man, I wish neither of them had to kill each other, and now I just had to watch both of them kill each other. Okay, unrelated to that though, this is a cool concept. If you don't mind continuing to do this, that would be amazing. Kind of like, now I know adding extra animation is just a lot of stuff to do. But things like this, the alternate endings, or the alternate scenarios that were animated in Eggman versus Bowser, I didn't bring it up in that video because I didn't even realize it was happening. Those are amazing. Those are really cool. And I just want to give praise to that, because these are cool ideas. I love when they incorporate cool ideas, because I've always wondered sort of how they would handle it, since they've gotten a lot better at scripting these situations. I always wondered sort of how they would handle it if the opposite character ended up winning. And it would be pretty cool if they kept doing this.
Next time on
Oh, who's next? Who's next? We got Chains and Fire. Chains and Fire. What's... Oh, I should have guessed.
Subscribe and join
Ghost Rider
to
and
see
Spawn.
more Death Battle.
I was sitting here saying, Chains and Fire, Chains and Fire, Chains and Fire, and part of me wanted to go Ghost Rider, and then another part of me was like, I might be wrong. But Ghost Rider and Spawn, we're gonna be going to that one. Isn't that a death battle we had? Is this the or am I thinking of something else? Either way, this is exciting. This is gonna be pretty cool, I think. Ghost Rider versus Spawn. Again, I don't know much about either of the characters for that as well, so I'm looking forward to it. I know Ghost Rider has the penance stare, so that's a thing that is hard to work around. I've never... The few things I've seen about Ghost Rider, I have wondered how the heck is he even supposed to die? But, you know, you never know. You know? Yeah. Anyway. Going back into the fight itself. Woo! I'm rewinding 5 seconds at a time. This is taking forever. Okay. Where was the... Yeah, this scene right here was animated so nicely. With the Kratos' face. But... Look at that detail. Look at that. That is beautiful. That is honestly like thumbnail material right there. Slap that face on there. But yeah, I'm excited for next week. Not next week. Not the death battle will come out in a couple weeks. And Spawn versus Ghost Rider. I thought this death battle was amazing, and I hope you enjoyed watching my reaction to it and watching me get to learn about these characters for a change, instead of sort of going in knowing a decent bit, because I was going in blind. I was also a little overwhelmed. I got nervous because Kratos had a lot of weapons and I was scared I couldn't keep track of them. But no, I enjoyed that greatly. It was amazing. So I will see you in the next one. Stay toasty.